25.
One Way Out, episode 14.
14. Dude, fucking, they say once you get to 25, you're an established podcast. Like you're.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's like the threshold. If you do 25 episodes, you'll keep going.
Forever.
Forever, yeah.
Dude, what is Rogan's up to like thousands right now or some shit like that?
Yeah. Plenty. I mean, minus like 3 or 4 that they censored after he moved to Spotify.
Yeah, the Alex Jones one you can't find.
Dude.
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But dude, so that actually brings like, I was reading something today. It was like, the guy was like, I used to read history and then COVID happened and now I believe all of history is fake. Right. Yeah. So like that's straight out like how I feel now too. Like when I used to be like a huge World War II history buff and I'm like, did that happen that way?
That's the number one because everyone will be like, that's the last just war. And then like, as I've been a grown up, I've learned more and more things. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't know. Like, were we the good guys in that one? Like, was it unprovoked? Because like, it's as unprovoked as like Russia is today. You know? Right. Yeah, nobody straight up attacked Russia, but it's not like, I don't think you're justified saying it's an unprovoked war. Same thing for the Japanese. Like, just because we didn't attack the Japanese, we were fucking
sanctions,
embargoes, funding like weapons and ammunition to China. Like, they're straight up in a war with these people. You know? Like, same shit. It's the same shit that's always been happening.
I know, dude. George Orwell wrote he fought in the Spanish Civil War, and he wrote 1984. Like, one of the reasons like he wrote 1984, he was at some battle that happened and the way they reported it and historic was completely opposite of what happened. Yeah. And that was like one of the things that like blew his mind where he was like, oh, wow, they just fucking lie left and right.
Well, look with our job, dude. That's like,
oh, dude, yeah.
With our job, like we're in the job, so we know exactly what the fuck is happening.
Yep.
And then you see how it's reported, like, oh, they're fucking whipping migrants, you know?
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Yeah.
I know. So yeah, it gives you a perspective.
And not only reporting it like that, dude. It'd be one thing if they were reporting it like that, but the government and like the investigative bodies and all the shit that should be like, you know, allegedly like on the up and up and like trying to put the truth out there right now, they're blatantly lying and manipulating.
We'll look into this. It's like, motherfucker, you guys know what's going on. You know what the score is here.
It's 2024. You got fucking cameras all over the place. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fucking bananas, man. Speaking of revisionists and psyops and all this shit, fucking Chase Oliver, huh? Does he have your vote?
Nah, listen, man. That's why, like, right there is a prime example of like where the Libertarian Party loses me. Like I'm like a Ron Paul guy. Like Ron Paul is like what I would like want, right? And like that dude, and this is where like Aaron would be like because Aaron's more like the Christian like nationalist background. Yeah. This is where I start to see Aaron's point where dude, I'm like,
man, we have this podcast we listen to, the Free Man Beyond the Wall, Pete Quinones. I don't know if you ever listen to this shit. Basically, I guess a Christian nationalist, you could say, but he was a libertarian, and then he became like they called like post-libertarians, where you kind of realize like kind of where I'm at too. Like you realize like this whole libertarian thing, it was my Hail Mary, right? To try to change things in a political way, peacefully. You know what I mean? Like doing, you know, like trying it is one of many things that you're just trying every other option before. There's only one way.
One way out, yeah.
So. But some of these guys figured that out a while ago, and Aaron's probably one of them. But yeah, Pete Quinones is one of the guys that was like disillusioned with all this shit a couple of years ago.
Dude, how do you like? And I actually think here's my conspiracy theory on this, because Trump and RFK and all of them went to the convention.
So the
right?
convention was this weekend. It's the 28th now, so the 25th, I guess it was started on.
Right.
And so you had Trump, RFK, and then they were talking about Chase Oliver because he got the presidential nomination from the Libertarian Party.
Right, like Dave Smith is like my kind of like right now, if you like Dave Smith, if he's a comedian, that's like kind of like if I look at Libertarian, or Maj Toure, like Black Guns Matter. Yeah, those are the dudes that like if I was gonna be like political, like that's my politics, right? Of course, yeah. But like, so they have this convention, and like I knew Trump was gonna get booed, and it was gonna be like, it actually made the libertarians look like shit, like the whole entire reaction. But I knew that, and me and you both said that, and I'll tell you why right here. Let me break it down. Memorial Day weekend in Washington, D.C., you're having your libertarian. Only autistic fucks are going to that thing.
100%.
That's it. Only like the most autistic of fucking like, you know, like the Chase Oliver gay, I'm a gay libertarian with who supports transgender hour and masking and vaccines. That's the only person that's showing like up to this shit, right? So when Trump was getting booed, like, dude, whatever you want to say about Trump, he is fucking funny. Where he's like, keep getting your 3% every 4 years. Dude, it's fucking just absolute.
His comedic timing has been spot on since the
beginning. Just scorch earth him. But like, I think there was somewhere like a deal in the background. It's like, hey, we're gonna nominate this like leftist. We're going to nominate because the left wing has been a problem inside the whole entire Libertarian Party, right? Like
we took over from them,
right?
2020,
2020, the Mises Caucus, right, and all that, yeah. So like, they're trying to get rid of it, like, dude, no, like anyone to become a serious political party, if you would, like a player in it, where like you just don't like to get your Rand Paul to come there, or your Ron Pauls, your Masseys, your more principled people to be in that. Like, you can't have these fucking people like running around in that like. Like, I'm a libertarian. Don't tell me to shower. No, I'm gonna fucking tell you to shower.
Yeah, it's like, listen, you have the right to not shower, but everyone else has the right to be like, you're a smelly fuck, and we don't want to associate with you.
Yeah,
like
right.
Everyone, the Mike Tiermat, who's the fucking VP for this Chase Oliver clown.
He was a cop too, right?
He was a cop, and then he became a economics professor, and then he was a White House economic advisor. So like, he's a fucking.
He's taking all the bells of an asset.
Yeah,
yes.
dude, he's all the shit that we actually say we don't like. Yeah. Anyway, but he was like, it's not enough. He did a Joe Jorgensen thing where it's not enough to be not racist. You have to be anti-racist or something. So he was like, it's not enough to be
a prejudice.
Prejudice. Oh shit! Oh, there's Aaron right there. It's not enough to not be prejudiced. To have we reject all prejudices or prejudices.
Yeah, I saw it, dude. He made up a word. It was a flat out made up word.
So, dude, and then which is dumb because but that's something that a lot of people have this preconceived notion about libertarians, like, oh, anything goes. It's like, no, like the state can't mandate you do shit, but we can also say we don't like shit.
Here's my thing too, and this is what I come down to. Like the border is a prime example. It's like, like this guy Oliver is an open border fucking advocate, right?
Yeah, essentially.
And I'm like, listen, man, it's all well and good. You want to say all this stuff, but like, we're on like heroin. The United States is on like heroin. We need to get ourselves down to like cocaine. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like going back towards like libertarian principles of like, you're not like open border. Like, if you're just importing millions of people from third world countries and making them depend on a system, they're going to vote or just come in there and be like, I'm taking half your shit.
Yeah.
Like, you're libertarian, like laissez-faire, like don't let like, like this open border global, like doesn't fucking work, dude, until you have like a society together that has like some sort of cohesion.
Yeah.
Right. You need a cohesive society. And the more and more foreign nationals like that you import to this place that are dependent upon one political party or the establishment and will keep propping up the regime, you're not going to get the Fed ended. You're going to continue having all the bullshit wars because they don't care if fucking Israel is killing these kids in Gaza because they're getting their free phones. They're free money. They're free this, that, the other thing.
Exactly.
That's it.
It's a low trust, low accountability society, a responsibility society. Like, if you can't, like, to have a libertarian or just a free market or a anarcho-capitalist society, people have to be responsible for themselves. But if you have a culture that's all about taking and initiating force on other people, then like, if tomorrow, like, hey, all the government's gone, that's going to be a fucking terrible situation to be in, right? Like, because you're going to have a bunch of fucking people who are, I guess I would say, bad people that are just out there in society that they're not well thought out, principled people. So that's why I participate as an anarcho-capitalist and anarchist. I participate in the Libertarian Party because I'm how things are and how I'd like them to be are not the same thing, right? So I can see how the world is and then how I wish it to be and how can I get it there. So,
right. That's what I'm saying. We got to move. Like, it's like this guy, like that they nominated is like open borders, vaccine. Your employer can absolutely. It's like, okay, bro, but they own all they own everything. So basically what you're saying, and they own the government, is that they can make you get a vaccine.
That's why they call us autists, because some people are unable to separate the philosophy with the reality. Like,
right.
Yeah. On paper, this is all correct, but in reality, the situation we have, this is what that looks like. And it's not the society you think it is.
Yeah.
Like, if you just say, hey, private companies can do whatever they want tomorrow. Well, they're already like well established, like,
right. They're going to poison your river because it makes them fucking money.
Exactly,
right.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like, you have to get there. It's a long road to get there. If you can even get
I mean, the vaccine, the COVID vaccines are a prime example. They fucking did. And like, They did every dirty trick, scummy, fucking lawyery, bullshit, media propaganda way to force that on everyone, right?
Every libertarian can identify that the government part of that is a problem,
right?
But some libertarians that are just like so married to this philosophy, they can't point out like it's also evil when the private companies are doing this shit.
Right.
Like it's evil. Like the private companies who are using the government to enact this shit, that is evil. That's the thing you gotta focus on. We all agree the government part is evil, right?
Right.
So, but you have to like talk about the private, and they'll be like, well, the private companies, they can do what they want, which is true and stupid to fucking say that, because who gives, yes, someone could do something evil, but it's your fucking job as a principled person to be like, that's evil. We should do something about that.
And here's another thing with the NAP, like what is aggression? Is indoctrinating your kids to be a gay communist twink? Is that aggression? Psychological warfare on your fucking children and your family? Is that
it can be,
right?
It can be. Yeah.
So like, that's the whole entire, like I said, we need to get off of heroin, get down to methadone. Like, let's start moving the needle that way. Like Ron Paul, like I say, and audit the Fed. Yeah. And that dude, even Trump, like they had that Tim Pool interview, dude. And it's like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, great. Really, the only chance we have is this dude, and I'm not too fucking faithful in this or hopeful in this dude. It's like he sits there, he's like, I'll commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht.
No, I said I'll consider.
No,
that was Julian Assange. Yeah, you're
right.
You're right.
But that's where I was going with this. Yeah. Is he not a fucking word about Assange? I'll consider it, which means no. It means Pompeo and the pals that are really running Trump won't let that happen. And then Snowden, like Assange should be 100%. Yeah, no, I'm going to pardon Julian Assange. He's a journalist. He fucking published materials, First Amendment, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Snowden, you can make an argument. I think he's a hero for exposing the like CIA and the intelligence apparatus who was lying blatantly in front of Congress, testifying blatant lies. They should be in jail. Snowden shouldn't be having to live in Russia. But if you want to make the argument that he used his classified position to leak shit, I guess. But then you got what's Chelsea Manning? Bradley Manning. Yeah. What it was the artist formerly known as Bradley Manning, right?
Well, this is the thing, because there's a differentiation between like Assange, who's a journalist who was given classified information, right? And he published it. There's a difference between that and
the Afghanistan papers, and what was the other one? The Panama papers, where they were all the
shell companies.
The shell companies, yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's the difference, is he was given the information and published it as a journalist. Where, like you're saying, Snowden and Chelsea Manning, they actually were
inside of it. They had an access inside the apparatus.
So they took the information and gave it to somebody. So like there is a difference there.
But
I mean, look, I agree. I wanted to know all that information. I think they should have leaked all of that.
Yep.
I'm not against that, but at least the establishment has a leg to stand on from a legal point of view like that. But they have no legal.
Right. But what they're doing is illegal. Like all the shit that they're doing is illegal. And it's like, oh yeah, you exposed our crime, so you're going to jail.
Yeah, so it's illegal for you to expose the illegal things we were doing. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's the reality of the situation that we're in. But Trump should have said unequivocally, I will pardon Assange, Snowden, and
I could get behind him saying not to Snowden, like, and I get that from the angle of like we just laid out, like right there and then there. But Assange and Ulbricht, yeah, absolutely,
Ross Ulbricht,
yeah. Which, dude, basically, if you don't know, everyone was be like, he was dealing drugs. No, he made a website where you could sell or trade anything you want, right? If you remember, Wayfair was literally putting like kids as fucking right, so. They're like, oh, it could be used for sex trafficking. Are you going after Wayfair, the app where they were? What are you doing with your?
My bad. I actually hit that.
Fucking. But yeah, are you going after them? No. He made a website where you could sell and trade anything you wanted without the government being able to capture the data, which is kind of what's going on with TikTok too. They want the ability to capture everything on the internet. And if you don't fucking play ball with handing it over to them, they're going to throw you in jail or they're going to fucking destroy you financially, which is what they're trying to do with TikTok. Yeah. But I love the Chinese TikTok guy where he's like, yeah, no, we ain't selling. Fuck you.
Yeah, we're not selling to certain people.
Yeah, God's chosen people will not be buying this company. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. No, that's exactly right. They've been trying to get control of the internet this entire time. So anytime in the future, when they frame some bill or some legislation about safety on the the internet, it's all about just getting control of the internet.
And dude, safety on anything. Anytime they say safety on fucking anything, because then all it just becomes is like, we use it when we want to use it.
Yeah.
Is what they do.
The Patriot Act, the CARE Act.
The National Defense Authorization Act, repealing the Smith-Mund Act so that they can do propaganda.
Yeah, Obama. Thanks, Obama. All that stuff. So it's just, I don't know, dude. Like, but as far as Trump, giving the libertarians, like,
he's going to take the libertarians will not get 1% of the vote. He's going to, that's why I keep on saying they put this guy Oliver. Yeah. He's there to drive like anyone like Clint Russell, like Dave Smith is going to vote Trump now.
All the most influential voices in the Libertarian Party were like, what the fuck?
Maj Toure is voting Trump now, right? Like, so like he just got like a 1 to 2% bump just from the Libertarian Party picking the fucking, you know,
I'm a
pro-trans, pro-vax, pro-mandate.
This fucking guy. He
it's the worst political candidate I've ever seen in my life.
It's not good. And his VP's not very good either. Dude, it was a sad. I was up till like 2-3 in the morning just reading all the reactions, and like you could say that's the.
I called it first though. That it started to get right where I was like, this is a fucking.
This is IOP.
I put that right out right away. I was like, I'm gonna hop it on this board first.
Everything is fake and gay and or literally gay.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, it's insane, man. Like, but that was my Hail Mary, participating, because I've been in the Libertarian Party for a long time now. I helped the Mises Caucus take over here in Arizona as a voting member delegate here in the Arizona State Convention, and then I was supposed to go to DC as an alternate delegate, which would have meant I was going to be a delegate because a bunch of people weren't going to show up.
Right.
We knew ahead of time, but I actually couldn't go at last minute either. Fucking broke my heart. But now I'm glad I didn't go because I probably would have.
Dude.
But
dude, like I said, dude, it's only the autistic of the autistic. There's a leak at work. He's like, I'm a libertarian. He was like, blah blah blah, and I was like, and I'm like, yeah, dude, only the most autistic. He's like, I would have went to the convention. I was like, but you didn't. You're here working right now.
Yeah, I had a family thing, but I had my hotels. I had everything, dude. I was in the private Discord with everybody. Like, it was a shit show. It's a complete fucking shit show. So like you saw Dave, he's a good spokesman, like Michael Rectenwald, Dr. Rectenwald is not a very good speaker.
Right.
Which I think didn't do him any services, but that's who I would have preferred, Rectenwald. But Dave was supposed to run and everyone was going to get behind him. There's no way he would not have got the nomination. But again, family things came first because family's first. Dave's not as autistic as some of the fucking actual members of the Libertarian Party. So I think once he said that he wasn't going to take the presidency, like that kind of just fucked up the whole movement.
I think he intentionally did it. Like I said, they intentionally did it.
Dave did?
Yeah. So they in order to fucking drive the votes to Trump.
You think Dave supports Donald Trump?
I think everyone with a half a brain realizes how bad and it's not just Biden's just a front runner, but this uniparty regime. Sure. Your establishment Republicans, your establishment. I think everyone realizes how fucking bad it is, and everyone wants to avoid the one way out. So, and they think that the only political chance is Donald Trump getting in there.
I'm not convinced that Donald Trump is not part of it in some way.
Right. That's a fucking plenty of evidence that points to that, right?
Correct. Yeah.
But that's the only hope at this point. Like no one else is gonna like come in there and like,
nah, dude, another 4 years of Biden.
Can you imagine? Yeah, dude, another 4 years.
It's like we have this massive wildfire coming to our house, and like voting for Trump is like someone with a garden hose just like spraying the 5 feet in front of that fucking fire that's coming. You know what I mean? Where Biden is that same guy with the hose, but he's spraying gas. So you might as well. This shit is coming, dude. The shit is going to hit the fan. Like,
yeah, we'll do it one way or another. If Trump, like what was discussed, if Trump gets in, you'll have mass violence. If fucking Biden gets in, you're gonna have violence. Yeah, I mean, dude, like what? I don't know. Do banks randomly explode?
Yeah, I don't know.
So if anyone doesn't know, I just if you follow us on Twitter, I just tweeted out Youngstown, Ohio, a JP Morgan Chase bank just exploded.
Damn it.
I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Stop playing. Give me this.
Yeah,
give me this fucking
remote. Anyway, but
yeah, you got this shit going on now.
There's Aaron.
Oh
Yeah. I mean, everything is trending that way, dude. From the global stage with all the fucking bullshit wars that are happening. I mean, actually, nuclear armed powers going toe to toe politically with people. You have obviously the immigration is not good. I'm starting to see like, dude, I saw the guy who did Fear and Loathing in Jerusalem. It's like this 25-part.
Fear and Loathing in Jerusalem,
dude. It's so good. It's he's on the Jocko Willnick's podcast. I forget the guy's name. His handle is Martyr Made, but he does a podcast with Jocko. Anyway, but he did this 25-hour like fucking series on the history, like not just 1945, but
right.
all the way back, dude, from like the Arabs, the British, like all the way back.
Right.
And he was talking about his local Home Depot. He went to Home Depot and he started seeing, the day laborers that are there. He started seeing like black people mixed in with that.
I think I just saw this post.
And then he was like, then eventually the black people, they started like feuding and they kicked all the Latinos off the fucking Home Depot property.
Yeah.
They were still like on the outskirts, still getting picked up. Because he said people would rather pick up the Latinos versus the blacks. The hardworking stereotypes.
Yeah.
But, and then like eventually there was a brawl and the cops had to come in and it was like,
but dude, apparently like a whole bunch of like Latinos came in like rolled deep. Yeah.
The primos and the fucking everybody came. But see, this is the thing that the minority vote is actually going to be affected because of this migration shit. Like in these cities, like, cause they're seeing these migrants coming from all over the world.
I know. It's just so rigged, dude. If you don't have ballot control and you don't have chain of custody, you have selections, you don't have elections.
No, but you're going to see African Americans or just people in minority countries that are, American minority countries that they're going to, or counties that are seeing this shit happening. They're getting like publicly loud, pissed. You know what I mean? Which is going to be.
You're seeing it in Chicago. You're seeing it in New York. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're going to have to openly come out and be like, they can't say we support you guys and them. They're going to have to choose the Democrat Party. I mean.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen with that. Like I said, you're already.
Well, dude, look at the violence. You're seeing violence right there, right? You know what I'm saying?
That is what I don't see any other unless they just. I don't know. I don't even know what else they could do other than this is going to come to a giant violent head.
Like I've been saying for a while that I think they're going to let Trump win and they're just going to set it up where he's just in a box, right? Where like the economy is going to be absolutely fucking in the garbage. Let
it fall apart under his watch.
Yep. Yeah. They'll pass some legislation that he has to keep funding Ukraine for 2 to 4 years. He's going to have to deal with the tax cuts that are expiring right away.
Yeah.
He'll get like a house. They'll put like a House majority Democrat with like the Senate being like 51-49 or some bullshit like that.
Oh, dude, what was that thing I saw you posted something about Act Blue. That guy was like calling out Tammy, what's her face?
The senator, Democrat senator.
Yeah, I forget her name, but like
they have all these people on like the way our campaign finance thing is, and that's what Trump is being tried for right now. Right. So you're going to start seeing like the Republican right wing dudes start dropping like names on all these fucking high up Democrats.
Yeah.
Essentially, what she was doing is through Act Blue, she was having like people that are in nursing homes. This is the Wisconsin proved that the election had thousands of fraudulent votes through the nursing homes. They go into these nursing homes, they find these people that are mentally incapacitated, and they just use their name to donate money.
Just need your social security. That's all we need.
Boom, boom, and then they just do it over and over and over and over and over again. And the one chick was donating like 7 times a day.
Yeah, for like a year, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
She wasn't donating her money, but someone was using her name and social security number. And then this is how AOC goes from, being $8,000 in debt to being a multimillionaire in 6 years.
I remember Project Veritas, back when it was Project Veritas, did an expose on Act Blue. James O'Keefe actually he tracked down some of these votes, and he went to these people's houses. Yeah. They're like, hey, did you donate? They're like, no, I donated 1 time. Well, it says here you donated 50 times. And they're like, well, that can't be right. You know what I mean? But he actually confound the people. Anybody can YouTube that. You can look into James O'Keefe going to voters that donated to these PACs, because there's like a limit. You can only donate like $3,000 to a candidate, like $5,000 to a party.
But to the PACs, you can donate
super PACs. You can donate; it's unlimited.
Yeah, and then they fucking go and
But super PACs, you have to donate to the super PACs. They can't donate to the candidates. They donate to the parties. So the parties. But this is what happens: is they will they'll. Like that, the super PAC will then put out like these. They're the ones who pay people to go put those little fucking signs on the street corners and shit. That'll be like, vote for hope and change. Obama's little things. Like he's not out there fucking putting the signs up. There's people doing that, right?
Well, dude, not even that. They borrow against it. They give the candidates loans. They can't give them the money, but they can give them loans at like 1% interest or whatnot, and then they take it. They know bills are coming up in the house. They use that money, that capital, to invest in the stock market, make the money, pay back the loan. So that's the big scam on how happening. That's 100% how it's going down on the whole entire PAC thing. It's like, Congress, a lot of these congressmen don't have, tens of millions of dollars to make these investments, and they go to the super PAC, get a loan out, take that, and then there you go. Yeah. And they pay it right back.
Yeah, it's campaign finance is a whole fucking scam. I mean, it's weird that Donald Trump is being looked into for that. Like, I haven't even paid attention to that because it's such bullshit. Like, it's clearly a political.
Dude, Barack Obama got found guilty of the largest campaign finance violation in the history of America, and all they did was make him pay a fine.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Was it equal to the amount that he?
No, I don't believe it was. Yeah, that's like it's like Pfizer every time they get caught like just making a drug. Which, P.S. Get ready, Vioxx 2.0 is going to be like Ozempic.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like Ozempic is going to be like the fucking.
I've seen clips from the South Park episode, dude. Looks fucking hilarious.
I know, I gotta watch that shit, dude. But that's going to be like every time like Pfizer gets caught, and then they're like, you owe a $2 billion fine and you're guilty of felony, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, they're like, we're sorry. Oh, we made $9 billion. But yeah, we'll pay the $2 billion.
Do you remember that scene in Fight Club when Edward Norton, he's an insurance adjuster or claim guy or something. So he's like, we do the math where the amount of lawsuits versus the recall. If the amount of lawsuits is less than the recall, we don't do the recall because they'll just pay the lawsuit and they'll still make enough money to cover it. Right.
Right.
So like, same thing for the drug companies like Johnson & Johnson, like Pfizer, who's got
Bayer, all them.
Johnson & Johnson they had asbestos in baby powder and they knew it was in there for a long fucking time, dude. They paid out.
Keep in mind, we're supposed to have organizations in the government, right? FDA in the government is supposed to stop all of this shit.
I get in arguments like that all the time, dude, with like status. They'll be like, well, if there's no FDA, who's going to regulate?
They don't do it now.
They don't do it now. Yeah. You could bribe your way through that. Like, yeah. It's fucking bananas. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird when you talk to people about like libertarian principles or being an anarcho-capitalist, and they just create these insane scenarios. Like, well, what if the guy next to you doesn't like he's just blasting a siren at your house all day, and it's his right to do that? I'm like, that is so fucking crazy. Like, it's so extreme. Like,
but even then, that goes to my point of the non-aggression principle. Like, that's a form of psychological warfare. Yeah,
if I go over to him and I'm like, hey, dude, can you turn your fucking siren off? And he's like, no, fuck you. I'm like, okay, after I do enough things, like I get the neighbors together, we talk. After we do enough things, eventually it's like, we're going to fuck you up. Yep. It's like you do. We were reasonable and you're aggressing. So, it's not like someone sets foot on your property, you get to shoot them in the face, but like, it's reasonableness, right? That's why I'm saying you can't just have this society tomorrow because people are not.
No, dude.
They need to be like, there has to be a society like where the norm is reasonableness. You know?
That's my hope on Bukele down in. I might move to El Salvador, by the way, when I fucking retire. If this place is fucking
it's
looking better, dude. He like my hope is with him is that, like he gets like shit like squared away down there and like moves like the Bitcoin, like all that kind of
Yeah.
But the more, dude, I've been reading some stuff on Bitcoin where I'm like, oh, is this just a fucking giant?
So like the original IP address was that NSA building? Like,
oh shit, fuck, man. Dude.
I mean, it's even if that's true, it's no more worse than our fucking money.
Right. But it goes back to everything's fake and gay.
Everything's fucking fake and gay, dude. You can't escape it. You can't escape it. That's a beautiful picture, but it's fake and probably made by
AI. That's an AI picture right there.
Yeah, dude. And that's my problem with Chase Oliver is not that he's gay. I don't want anyone to think that. Anyone in the Libertarian Party who's listening to this, I don't have an issue with him being gay. I'm not gay. People can be gay. I don't believe it's very good to be gay. It's evolutionarily speaking, it's a dead end, right? Although there are some gay guys who have kids and all that nonsense. My problem with him is not that he's gay. It is the shilling for the
dude, BLM, the whole nine yards.
BLM, like the drag queen. He's arguing that drag queens reading to kids is not inherently sexual. I'm like, why aren't they reading to elderly adults then? You know what I mean? Like, okay, like
send them to the nursing home.
Yeah, it's a dude in a fucking dress. That'd be like, oh, hey, these strippers are going to the kids' place, like to read kids to them. Yeah, the stories are wholesome, but it's even they're wearing normal clothes. But like, just the fact that everyone knows they're strippers sexualizes it. You know,
I always like when like people read like the crazy ass like shit in like these liberal counties, or like they go to their school board and they're like, this is what you're reading in school, and then like the school board is like, you will not use that language, you will be arrested, and they're like, This is what you're teaching in school.
This is from your school curriculum. Yeah, dude. People are so. I still have arguments with people today. They're like, "Oh, that's not happening," or "That's not in schools," and all this shit. Because people, I get it. It's hard to keep up with all this shit, but yeah, there's a lot of fucked up shit going on. Everything's a psyop. Everything's fake and gay. It's just wake the fuck up, man. I still don't believe how it's 2024. All the shit that's gone on in the last 20 years, 25 years. And people are like, yeah, everything is, this is all good. This is going great. If we can just get our guy in there. I had somebody, Eric Gould.
Yeah.
He texted me earlier. He was like, it's almost like we shouldn't voting for pedophile, degenerate people who are compromised by foreign intelligence agencies is not a good system. And it's like, yeah.
Dude, what's funny is that like the moving of it's like they used to be like, oh, we'll get Marilyn Monroe to bang you, and that's how we'll you cheated on your wife. That's how we'll compromise you, right? Yeah. Now people are like, I cheated on his wife, whatever, right? It doesn't. So they had to move the needle to like gay Diddy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like Diddy. Yeah, dude, Diddy knocking Cassie out in front of a fucking camera
on video. Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Then they hid that for like 8 years, dude.
Because he's one of them. That's what people are like. People are like, oh, you think all of them are compromised? I'm like, yeah, all the ones that matter are definitely compromised. Like they're all just degenerates. You know what I mean? Like
they'll let a few through so that you think you have an option of choice, but the illusion of choice. Even Stalin had an opposition party.
Oh yeah,
yeah, But yeah, dude.
Yeah, if you're not hip to that by now, dude, fuck, you really gotta pay attention. Gotta look around. Oh, damn, these mics pick up everything.
Damn, man.
Yeah, dude. So it's just fucking.
I gotta not click my hands on the table if I picked that up.
It's like that's why I wear this silicone band because I was tapping it and like you could hear this shit perfect. Yeah. Yeah, man. So you know what? The Libertarians are probably not going to win this year's election. Probably not. I'm not voting for Trump. Fuck that. But a lot of guys are, a lot of Libertarians are going to do that. Some will vote for RFK, but a lot of them are going to vote for Trump. The ones that I'm not voting. Fuck that. I refuse. This was my bid to do everything. Part of me doing everything I can now, other than bide my time till the shooting starts.
Yeah, right. I know, dude. I'm up in the air on that one. I'll either go Shiva Ayadori or Trump.
Yeah, you can write in somebody. D's nuts.
Yeah. Well, he's been trying. He's got a Truth, Freedom, Health. If you don't know, and we actually got retweeted by him. He's the inventor of email. He ran for Senate in 2020 up in Massachusetts. It wasn't Matt Taibbi. The Twitter files did not get exposed by Matt Taibbi and Glenn Greenwald and all them. It was Shiva Ayadori's lawsuit up in Massachusetts where he proved that the Republican Party, the Democrat Party, and the state of Massachusetts all colluded with these tech companies to remove him from Twitter at the time. Damn. Facebook. Yeah. So he's the one that broke all this shit. And I think it was Jesse Kelly posted something about like voting in the primaries. The GOP gets to that. I'm like, it's rigged in the primaries. Like Shiva Ayadori proved that. And like, hey, guess what? If I told you that the state, the government was going to actively participate and try to move the needle and use all its tools and abilities to make a candidate that they want win, would you call that rigged and a rigged election? Yeah, it's a rigged election. Yeah, it's not a free and fair election. If you have the state, which he proved, the state of Massachusetts, going and influencing private companies, allegedly private companies, in order to hurt a candidate because they don't want him in because he can change things, then you have a rigged election. Just that effect. Not even the fucking mail-in ballot fuckery, the counting of ballots from underneath the table at 3 a.m. in the morning, the 300,000 votes dumped at one time when 90,000 is the max that you can vote. 138,000 votes get counted. All of them go for Biden, which is statistically impossible, right? All that shit, fuck that. Throw it out the window.
Which is insane, dude, because people will be like, oh, they're corrupt here, and here. But you're a conspiracy theorist if you think the elections are rigged. So it's like they fuck around in all these
every other spot.
Everyone knows. Like you can talk to Republican, Democrat, statist, not statist, like anarchists. Like everyone can point to something that they're doing that is corrupt. And it's like, so they're self-interested, but this one thing, this one area that determines whether they're in power or not. They're not going to fuck with that thing.
Right. No.
Yeah, of course.
Sacred.
That thing is probably the most fucked with because it's the most incentive. Because without getting their election to their seats, all this other shit is not possible. So this thing is paramount.
Mike Benz talks about it all the time. Every time you hear them say it's a threat to democracy, that's them essentially like putting the signal out to the intelligence communities to start fucking with the election. So that's what the argument was when we rigged the Italian election after World War II. Was that if this communist wins, it'll be the end of democracy in Italy.
Fascist, right? What was it?
It was a communist.
Oh, it was a commie?
Yeah, after World War II. Yeah. Because you had Mussolini, who was a fascist. Right. So that was like the first like CIA, like we're going to fuck with the election. Mm-hmm. So anytime you hear them say it's a threat to democracy, that's them. And, they fund all this shit.
Put the bat signal up there.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's so obvious, dude. Like to me, like all this other shit is corrupt. This thing, everyone thinks is totally on the up and up. Like because in their worldview, and if you're a statist especially,
I don't think everyone thinks it's on the up and up now. I think a lot of people are fucking awake to it.
Have somebody on here, and you should be here for that.
Who?
Vote. Yeah.
Oh my God.
We gotta have the other side, bro. You gotta have the other side that this is all legit. Like we're just insane. We're just crazy people. But like because it's hard to get someone like he would actually come and argue that point. Like
oh no, yeah.
So he'll argue that point. So it's like, hey, all right, cool, man. I mean, let's let someone argue the point. Like because I mean not like I haven't heard these points before, but let's hear them real time. That these are elected representatives. This is a government of the people, for the people, by the people. You can change things by voting. Like let's hear the devil, not even devil's advocate. Let's hear the party line.
I just want to play Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss just pulling ballots out from the Atlanta Convention Center. Just like so keep in mind, Tom, that none of these people here, they're not eligible to they're not allowed to be entering votes.
Devil's advocate. There's a few bad actors. Yes, there's a little bit of corruption, but it's not widespread.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the argument because at this point you can't argue there's zero corruption because there has been concrete, conclusively proven.
Dude, they've caught thousands of votes in just one county. 3,800 in just in Fulton County that they can be like, 100%. That's one county.
It's fucked up. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then they can't produce evidence on 400, close to 40, it's like 380,000, 400,000 votes. So it's like, well, we can't even audit that shit because even though it's law that we keep all of this for like at least I think it's like 4 years afterwards, we can't even produce it to you because we broke the law and we didn't fucking keep it. Yeah. So you can't audit it.
Here in Arizona alone, that the Maricopa County, one of the reddest counties in the fucking state, their fucking voting machines went down, or the fucking some issue with the printers.
No, they intentionally was it, bro, dude.
Benefit of the doubt. I'm just saying.
No benefit of the doubt. They proved this one on the 2022 election. They used different size paper that the machines could tabulate. That's right. And they claimed that, they couldn't have foreseen this or this, that, the other thing. But they had that issue in 2020. We did a Senate audit and it came up in the Cyber Ninja Senate audit. I have the entire Senate audit.
Why would it only be in that county?
Right.
The reddest county. Why would it only be there? Not like that didn't happen in like 4 counties. Or like in Flagstaff or some other blue area. It was only in the red area in Scottsdale, like Maricopa County. Like what? Yeah, it's
right. But they knew. So the claim that they didn't know that was an issue.
Yeah.
It had already been not only like it had been audited and addressed and been like, hey, you guys used these ballots that were incorrect size and it caused all these fuck ups. Right. Yeah. And then the Secretary of State was running for governor, who was also responsible for running the election. So you have the Secretary of State running for governor. And by the way, like Arizona's like red everywhere else because all they did was these blue centers where they can rig everything and nothing, this is essentially these big population hubs is where they're rigging shit at. Right. Mm-hmm. So what you'll get is a red legislator. Whenever you see this, you see a red legislator, but you see blue executives or globalist executives, we'll say, right? So like Arizona, Senate, state, or Senate and the Congress are all red. They keep on, the House. They keep on passing all these bills, and Hobbs, blue, Democrat, keeps on voting it. The Attorney General, blue, indicted like 200 Republicans. She won by like 134 votes. I think they actually proved that she shouldn't have even won the election. It should be Abe Hamed, but they won't go back and fucking do anything about it. It's like she won by like 300 votes or some bullshit like that.
Well,
right?
I'm just saying, if your elections are fucked, then all these people that are tied to this democratic system, they're they're in a tough spot, right? Because their whole fucking system is basically built on lies. Like, if you don't think the government, which I believe, I'm sure you think this too, this is not a government of the people, for the people, for the people. But if these people realize their elections are fucked with to the degree that I believe, and probably you believe they're fucked with, that is shattering to that worldview that I'm not represented. How could I be represented if the elections are on?
Well, just being wrong. Fuck everything else. Just being wrong. Look at the COVID fucking thing. Mm-hmm. How much shit, like you and I, right from the get-go, from the rip, were like, you guys are fucking morons if you're listening to this. And people will refuse to admit, even though it's like, oh yeah, they pulled the vaccines from the shelf. Oh, hey, yeah, there's a 3,000% increase in cancer and heart. 29-year-olds are dropping out. Hey, I don't remember NFL athletes just dropping over dead left and right.
Mass, yeah. See, I wonder, Chase Oliver, I wonder what his stance is now. I'm sure he's boosted, but I mean,
boost him?
Yeah, I'm sure he sounds boosted. I wonder if he...
And then, hey, by the way, if you're one of those booster people, I encourage you to get your booster.
Yeah, keep going with it.
Keep going.
Push it as far as you can. Push it to the limit.
Push it to the limit. Past the point of no return.
Yeah, dude, you can't remove that spike protein from yourself. I don't know. I guess you can.
Nah, dude. For everything I've seen, like this is where like we get the crazy ass QAnon conspiracy theories is like you have someone be like, if you sun your balls and take ivermectin through the anus and do that, you can remove the spike protein. It's like, I'm gonna need some fucking something. I need some sort of like valid research to go off of that.
Double-blind peer-reviewed study. Remember, I was denying the fucking shit from the beginning. So convince me. Yeah, that's a weird.
I'm not sticking animal grade ivermectin up my ass. I'm sorry. They remove the spike proteins that have been shedded on me from other people.
Right? Yeah, dude. We actually, my wife has some ivermectin that she got because you can get it in bulk because it's for horses. Like you can get horse paste. Like literally that line they were giving, you can get it like that. It's like apple flavored or cheese flavored. It's disgusting. Yeah, but I don't know, man. We didn't even, it's not like we're scientists or doctors. We started from the premise that these people are full of shit. Like they've been full of shit for a long time. Like I've known they've been full of shit for a long time. So when they come at me with what they came out with COVID, like it wasn't like I'm some fucking doctor, like, oh shit, like tearing their fucking studies apart. Although we did do that.
I did 2 presentations to law firms because when the whole entire COVID vaccine mandate was going down on like the mRNA, because they're not vaccines, actually changed the definition of vaccination in order to make it, because you can't mandate medicine for case law in the United States, but you can, states can mandate vaccinations. Yeah. Not the federal government, but states can. So I did a whole entire presentation. One of the things that I got a SEC filing for Moderna, and they were all in. Moderna was like the mRNA fucking research guru, and they were actually in danger of going bankrupt in 2018 because they were like, none of our products are like 10 years out from even being like human testing. Yeah. This was 2018 that they were writing this, right? So then miraculously, snap of the finger, it's like, we haven't cured cancer in 80 years of research, but
we got the cure for this
COVID vaccine with this miracle mRNA.
Yes, this is the thing. Because of Joe Rogan, the podcast he did with a guy named Peter Duesberg, who believes that AIDS is not a real virus, or it's a real virus, but it's not the one that causes HIV. AIDS is like a weak virus that is found when people have compromised immune systems from partying, drugs, all the other stuff. Anyway, listening to that guy, that's when I first heard about Anthony Fauci, about the stuff that was going on in the 80s. So I knew about Anthony Fauci before COVID, like way before. Yep. And so when he's out there saying, you just got to get your masks, no mask.
I'm a little older than you, so like AIDS was like, we had to read this book about this dude Ryan White. It was like he got he was like a kid who got a blood transfusion and got AIDS from the blood transfusion. Yeah, you can go Google them. But I'm from New York, New Jersey. So like Trump actually, I think, took an op-ed out about how fucking much Fauci sucked with AZT. That was like a big deal. When I was like, I remember like hearing about like AIDS and like gay people dying. And once again, dude, I don't want to come off as like homophobic. I have no problem with gay people. I'm just like, you can't, I don't want you sucking dick, and I can't have my dick sucked in public. You can't have your dick sucked in public. Right? That's where we're at.
If I saw some dude and a chick going at it.
I'd be like, I'll fucking take that inside, dude. Like
degeneracy. It's not necessarily the lifestyle, like the sexual orientation. It's being degenerates,
right?
You know, like
yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm starting to side with fucking Aaron and
Aaron, dude, bro.
As I grow up, I used to be like more of a left wing person, dude. And then as I get older, dude, just like, especially having kids, like I just see the way society's going, and I'm like, look, everyone should be able to do what they want, but we should also, as a society, be like, that guy's a scumbag.
That guy sucks.
That guy's a piece of shit. Or hey, it's fucking, maybe you shouldn't fucking do fucking cocaine till your eyes fall out. You know what I mean? Like, let's not promote that. I'm not saying you can't do cocaine or whatever, but you know, let's just not pretend it's good.
Hey, listen, in the ideal world, like, you know, I think meth and fentanyl are basically chemical weapons at this point.
Yeah.
But like most of the other recreational drugs. But once again, like, listen, man, if you're like doing 8 balls of coke every night, dude, like everyone's got to be like, this guy's fucked up, and you're going to do fucked up shit. Like when you're that strung out, when you're that messed up on a substance, it's like anything. It's like, you know,
it's like alcohol, dude. You can be a piece of shit with anything. You can you can eat hamburgers until you fucking die and get diabetes or whatever.
I know, dude. Fat people fucking don't get shamed. Like, or well, they used to when I was growing up, dude. You would be like, if you were fat, oh yeah, I'm all on it.
See, if you go by Mike Tiermat, that's prejudice, you know. But prejudice is good. You should call out bad behavior. You know, it doesn't mean I want fucking some legislation involved in this. I just want a society to be like, yeah, if you're fucking, you know, being a sloppy drunk out in public, people should be like making fun of you, or you know, there should be some social cost.
Oh, dude. So it's funny. Like on Wednesdays, they have the new trainees show up to go to the academy, right? And I'm working the cameras and the gate right now. I should be going back full duty here soon, but so Wednesdays, dude, and I give them like, because you know the academies become kinder, gentler, regular.
Sure, yeah.
So I give them the full fucking experience right at the gate, right, dude. So I'll be like,
how many guns? How many rounds do you have on you right now?
Who's driving you? Whose car is that? He's like, oh, it's my girlfriend's. They're dropping me off, and I'll be like, someone actually loves you enough to drive you somewhere, and he'd be like, oh yeah, yes sir. I'd be like, but they don't love you enough to not tell you to take this job. right. And then I'll be like, all right, here's what's going to happen. They're going to drop you off right here. They're going to turn around. You look like you could use the exercise. Could lose a few pounds before you get to the academy. You're going to walk like, I mess with them pretty hard. Like,
yeah,
right.
Dude, if I was an FTO, man, I can see me getting in trouble for not hazing, but if I got a fat trainee, dude, hey, we're going to walk up this mountain every fucking day. Every fucking day until you're either not fat or you quit.
Yeah, dude, right?
Dude, that is such a liability, man. We have enough of that shit.
And we're P.S., you've only been here, right?
2016, yeah.
Since what? Well, where you came from a different place, right?
El Paso, yeah.
Right, so you've seen like some of the other places. Yeah.
Yeah, here's not as bad as
dude, the Valley, bro. Dude, White Diamond Club.
Texas in general, yeah. Yeah, dude, that's a real fucking problem. And that's the other problem I have with fucking Chase Oliver. He's supposed to be a leader, right? All this stuff aside, like, yes, he's
got the smuggest fucking looking picture I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, like if you're gonna fucking lead other men, you better be fucking squared away. Like you better be fucking jacked, or like a fucking nth degree black belt jiu-jitsu, or like have some kickboxing matches, have some kind of combat experience, and then have some, like, you should look like you can do something hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he'll be like, wow, it's hard to run a campaign. I'm like, it's hard to run 13 miles. You know what I mean? Like, do something like that, you know?
Right.
I don't know. Like, that's something that rubs.
He looks like he could run 13 miles. He's got that distance body. You know what I'm saying? He's got that whole entire, like, I got no muscle. Like, because, dude, you look at, I mean, the pro distance runners, like, you're like, that's a different animal. Like, you're like, holy shit. Yeah. But, like, your generic, like, you know, half marathon, live, laugh, love, shout out Nava. I'm just doing a half marathon with a girlfriend this weekend. Sounds absolutely miserable, sir. Yeah. But, very possible. Like that guy has like that kind of like, oh yeah, he could probably. Yeah. But I think he's doing that? No, I don't.
No, yeah. So I mean, if you're vying for a leadership position, you should be at least some kind of like strong. I don't mean just be physically, just like don't look like how he looks. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude.
Bro, this is the worst picture I ever seen. Yeah. That's what I said. It's a psyop. They're trying to drive people to Trump.
Yeah, I know, dude. You might as well have had an e-girl up there. Just fucking.
Yeah, on Twitch with like fucking
cat ears
and shit, and just making random noises, making millions of dollars.
fucking see the lights blink. Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. That shit just broke my heart. But you know what? I mean, I'm not even surprised anymore at this point. I've been disappointed so many times. It's politics. Of course I'm going to be disappointed. You can't, I don't know.
Dude, I wonder how much though of that, like, because like, you know, whenever here's another example of how they rig elections, primary elections. Whenever I see that independents can vote in a primary, or you can register like that day and vote in a primary, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you drop all these it's like, oh, we're gonna push this candidate, we're gonna push that candidate, right? Fucking election rigging, dude. You're rigging an election, right? So I wonder how many of these people they've pushed into the Libertarian Party to create that like hardcore, like leftist, like wing of like everything is permissible, like, you know.
Oh, for sure. That happened. Definitely. That has happened in the past for sure. The guy who was the chair when I first came in, Nick Sarwalk, was out of Phoenix here. That guy's 100% a fucking CIA agent. 100% a CIA asset. Look into Nick Sarwalk.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, so that's definitely fucking
working for Booz Allen. He's like, oh yeah, I worked for Booz Allen for 20 years.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. But yeah, for sure there's that whole aspect of it. But I don't know, man, just it's politics, some fucking I don't know. I tried, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So what are you doing to get ready for? I see you got some improvements to the house to get ready for the coming of the end here.
Oh yeah, gardens. Hey dude, you gotta do your garden. You gotta fucking get your own fucking your gym stuff going. You gotta get physically fit. You gotta have your fucking food storage prepped. I mean, you do just everything fucking and make sure it's mobile because you're not gonna be able to fucking stay where you're at probably if you live in a city.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we talk about it all the time. You know, there's one way out, man. And I see violence coming. I see civil unrest, if not straight up civil strife.
Dude, I just bought this. I actually spent some decent money on it. Because I've been watching all this Ukraine fucking footage of like drones and then like China.
So quick, dude.
Yeah. But they got these thermal camel cloaks now, right? And I bought one, and it is badass, dude. Like I took my kid out with my dog. Like I go take my dog out, like, and we'll go run through this like new development and whatnot. But I took my kid to the park, and I'm like, yo, go wear this. And I got a thermal, and I'm watching it, and like if he's not moving,
can't see him.
If you go prone, not being seen. Any sort of vegetation, like so, I'm talking grass, not being seen. If I was looking away and didn't see him like go to the ground, I wouldn't think.
Dude, if you don't have thermal, for anyone who's out there, if you don't have thermal, you're gonna die to somebody who has thermal. It's such a fucking game changer.
Yeah, and it's not that expensive compared to like Nogs at this point. Like you can get a decent one for like $1,000, right? Which is compared to like, you know, dual tube PVS 14s or even single tube, you're dropping like $3,000, right? Least, yeah. So it's a third of the price.
You need the helmet, you need the fucking setup, like.
Yeah, we'll just say $3,000 for a single tube PVS 14 white phos. But yeah, man, Relv RELV camo. You can find them on Instagram. Highly recommend. Like if you're into
how much was it?
$5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a small price to pay for fucking
dying. Dude. Yeah, dude. I bought the first one. I probably will eventually buy some more. And it's well worth it, dude. I was like, holy shit. Like this really like, cause I've seen like you've probably seen them too. You've seen them like Mylar blankets, the, trash bags. Like it does work like the Mylar, but like if you look at a Mylar blanket long enough, like where you're like, that's not,
doesn't blend.
That's not organic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Whereas this looks like organic, you know, when we're looking at something, looks organic on it.
Yeah, makes sense, dude. I don't know. So did you see, just we haven't talked about anything other than the libertarian current events, but that fucking flotilla, that floating port.
Oh yeah, the pier.
It's sinking.
Well, they had 3 people, I think 3 U.S. servicemen, if you don't know. We built a pier into Gaza.
Flotilla.
Like, dude, they called it Mulberry Harbors in World War II. Like, the Allies used to crank these things out where, like, big-ass ships. Like, and they fucked up. This just shows you how far we've fallen since 44. In 1944, they fucking put Mulberry Harbors in, like, Normandy area, right? Yeah. So that they could bring in all the supplies after Overlord, D-Day. They built this fucking pier. It's now sinking into the fucking...
a week, right?
A week. Yeah. They had 3 service members get hit by mortar fire. Yep. Right. One of them got fucked up pretty bad, which we said, we're like, here we go.
Yeah. So, hey, in the article I read about it, that it was sinking because it was being held up by like 4 different ships, I guess, like 4 floating, like they call them vessels, but they're manned, whatever they are. but a few of them drifted during the storms and landed on the beachheads. So does that mean we have boots on the ground or what? Does that count as boots on the ground? Dude, it's one of
we have boots on the ground, dude. We had boots on the ground to like
know,
and they've been hiding it with like training accidents. Like there's every time you see like a helicopter crash or whatnot, and it's got special forces guys, that's 100% they died somewhere.
So Lloyd Austin said we don't have boots on the ground, dude.
Yeah.
But did you see that?
Yeah, and what's his face? Brennan said that we don't spy on us.
Oh,
and,
yeah. It's just metadata.
Yep.
Which is another thing that old TB thinks that Thomas Vogt thinks that's mass surveillance stuff is Assange is a criminal. Snowden should have a bullet in his head. Like, talk about a lot of stuff.
Right, statist, bro.
It's the exact opposite of our point of view, which I'm like, yeah, dude, come talk about it. Let's talk about it. I have no fear of talking about that because, hey, maybe you'll convince me. Maybe. Anyway, yeah, dude, the fucking the flotilla thing. And did you see that fucking special forces guy and the fucking Chechens that were?
Yep.
Dude, what in the fuck is
so
that?
yeah, there we go. One way out. We're talking like this is what I'm talking about. Like we're not advocating violence here. We're telling you that there is a runaway fucking train coming straight at you.
Dude, I tried to fucking vote in the Libertarian Party to be I hate politics. I'm an anarchist. I was a member of a party trying to change the course of this behemoth. No. There ain't no changing it.
Yeah. It's a fucking runaway. It's
you get Chase Oliver every time.
Listen, it's Armageddon. We don't have Bruce Willis. We don't have Owen Wilson. We don't have fucking Ben Affleck. Michael, the big black dude, died from the Green Mile.
Duncan?
Yeah. Clark Duncan, right? Yep. We don't have any of these dudes. Yeah. The asteroid is coming. There's no way out of it. There's one way out. That's it. And so people don't know, these two Chechnyan dudes, but it had to be outside of, what is Bragg, right?
South Carolina.
For North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay.
Yeah. I think it was outside of.
All right. Yeah, but North Carolina, outside of North Carolina.
Yeah, there was two Chechnyan dudes that were scoping out a special force, I believe it was a colonel's house. So they're doing reconnaissance. And then on Fox, some naval admiral said the Navy is dealing with 2 to 3 times a week foreign nationals trying to access the naval bases.
Is that just illegal aliens or like just coming into there? Like
illegal aliens,
right? Or
no? Well, yeah, probably that's included in the mix, right? Too. Okay. But you have 2 to 3 times a week. You have foreign nationals that they're dicking with, like, oh yeah, hey, they're trying to access a military base. That's
totally fine. Yeah, completely fine. That doesn't worry me at all.
I know. So like, right? So that's what like. You think if we used to be invulnerable from like outside actors. You think if we go to war with Iran, that they're just going to let us drop bombs on top of it? And on top of it, the Russians and the Chinese have figured out how to jam a lot of our like smart missile systems where we can still fire them, but they're not like the dead on balls, pinpoint accurate shit that they used to be. That's right. So you think that like if we decide that, hey, we're going to go fight World War III, this will not be a safe place. Like that's another avenue of where like, hey, outside the internal U.S. like conflict, you've allowed 12 million plus fraudulent illegal aliens.
Did you see fucking Chuck Schumer, dude, was saying that the only path forward is to give the 11 million or however many of this is the exact quote. 11 million or
30 million folks.
However million. That's the thing that he doesn't even fucking know. He's like, whatever that number is, we just give them citizenship. It's like, well, shouldn't you fucking say the number? Or like,
they need a new voting class. The one they're like, it's getting too hard for them to rig it with the cloud cover that can get like Tommy to believe it.
Yeah, dude, that shit is fucking bananas, dude. That shit drives me fucking crazy.
So,
would you fucking give citizenship to? The only path forward is to give citizenship.
This is the same shit that happened to the Romans, though, dude. Like, right?
Yeah, with the Gauls.
Bad monetary policy, all the Gauls, the plebs, the whole entire.
They spread the empire militarily. Yep. Spread themselves thin. Yeah, dude. There's a lot of parallels. Yeah. Well, they lasted 1,000 years, sort of. We're what 250.
Yeah, but then like I always go like with technology, things accelerate. Everything's faster. Everything moves faster, right?
True.
So that was a couple thousand years ago. They lasted 1,000 years. We'll say we give them a good 500-year run before shit got.
They split. Yeah.
Yeah, shit got fucking weird. But like, so this is just like, hey, I can move. Ideas can move at the speed of a cell phone. Yeah. So shit's exponentially faster.
It all points to one way out, dude. It all points just like like the economic outlook is not good. The domestic.
I like how they keep on fucking. By the way, just like it's like coffee is too high. Oh, we're just going to take that out of the equation.
Yeah, the CPI, the Consumer Price Index.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Calculate prices.
It's like unemployment. It's like, oh yeah, he stopped looking for work, so
he's not counted. Yeah. It's a complete fucking joke. Any government metrics are just nonsense. Fucking take them with a grain of salt. Even if they prove your point, still take them with a grain of salt.
That's like some of that stuff there needs to be like just like a hardwired law that you can't change it.
What do you mean?
Like CPI, this will be the formula to calculate CPI. So like, cause like if you go and someone did it from like the 80s and was like, in order to live the lifestyle that you had in the 80s, you would need to make $260,000 a year.
Well, they redid how they used to calculate things differently in the 80s, and after the 80s, they calculated a different way.
Yep.
I don't know exactly how that is.
Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. Reaganomics. But it's everybody knows economically we are fucked. Like the prices are out fucking outrageous because of the trillions of dollars they printed under Trump, by the way.
Yep.
You can blame COVID all you want, whatever, but like this guy was spending on all kinds of shit. So the economic
COVID, but the COVID bill that he passed, that bill had been created a year before.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't designed. They just tacked on giving everyone their stimmies. Mm-hmm. That was a big bank bailout.
Yeah.
Once again, it was handing it was like $4+ trillion to the banks again. So Trump just printed and he signed off on it. He could have stopped. This is why when you say like, hey, I'm not going to vote for Trump, I get it. There's a ton of fucking signs that point that he's part of the apparatus.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I just don't agree with him on like anything almost. I mean, like.
You do. You do. It's just that there's so much glaring shit.
Yeah.
You agree with him on. There's a lot of shit you probably agree with him on.
Yeah, maybe, probably. Like whether he really believes what he really believes, I have no idea. So like if he wants to end the wars tomorrow, I mean, he was the president. He could have done that, and it would have been.
But look at what happened in Syria. He was like, "Yeah, no, I'm pulling." Yeah, he said, "Pull everyone out of Syria," and they literally fucking stopped.
And then we know about that. He has to know about that.
I know, dude.
So what did he do about it?
Nothing.
Who went to jail? He had all the guns. Like, go, hey, FBI, go arrest this guy. It's treason what he did.
And when they say no, you fucking
or sedition.
Yeah, they're removed from their fucking positions. I'm aware. That's my biggest disgusto with them is that he had all the fucking ability to do it, to be like, okay, this is what I want, and when they don't do it, bam.
Well, and then the argument is like, well, he couldn't. This is what Trump supporters would tell me. They'll be like, oh, well, he couldn't have done that because that would have made him look like a dictator. They would have made him look like an agent of another state. I'm like, oh, all the things they already accused him of, they were going to do that regardless. So he might as well have done the right thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's my problem with Trump. So yeah, it's not that we don't have anything in common. I just don't.
You don't believe that he'll actually do what he fucking says.
I don't believe it.
You don't believe it.
Yeah. Anyway, he's like the Constitution. He was either allowed it to happen or was powerless to stop it. Either way. Yeah. So I don't think Chase Oliver would do any better. Maybe though. Who knows?
No, bro, dude, that's fucking the worst political candidate I've ever seen in my life, dude.
I mean, it would just be like Joe Biden,
I do when they right when they put him in, they put out his like smug picture. It's like, I was like, this is obviously a fucking psyop.
I was like, guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at his policies. He is technically a libertarian, but he's a left-wing guy. He's a left-wing guy. And even if he says he doesn't want the government to advocate or doesn't advocate for the government to enforce that point of view, he still has that point of view, and that makes him sus as fuck to me, Anyway, so yeah, whatever happens this year, I'm sure Trump is going to get all the votes
Well, they're rigging that trial right now. The judge is being fucking out of his mind. They had Robert De Niro show up outside the courthouse with the J6 cops.
I skipped every single one of those videos. I was like, I don't give a fuck what this guy says.
Yeah, dude. But it's going to be interesting on like if they fucking like throw him in jail or not.
Trump?
Yeah.
He could still win. I mean, if he wins, if he still won the vote from in jail, I don't know how they would do that because Secret Service has.
They already said, so reports are like Secret Service is talking records on it. I mean, I could see what they could do to him is like put him to like do like a Pablo Escobar thing where they're like, you are to be at like, if they really wanted to fuck with him, they'd send him to Bedminster because he's got a house in Bedminster, New Jersey. It's like a golf course, big ass golf course.
Just lock him down there?
Yeah, like Pablo Escobar, be like, oh, you're on house arrest. You can't leave this fucking location.
He can still be president from there.
Yeah. Oh no, he can be president from a fucking jail cell, but unless they get him on like treason or sedition or whatnot, which they're not going to get him on.
They tried that.
or Mar-a-Lago, they're just like, oh yeah, you're here. But if they wanted to be like dicks, I would lock them up in Bedminster, New Jersey. You control, it's that blue fucking apparatus. You're right there.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't see them doing that. I mean, anything's possible, obviously.
I do. That's what I would do if I was them, and be like, and that way it kind of like fucking temper, like, and he'll come out and be like, everyone be calm. We're going to go through and, we all sit there. Everyone sits there waiting for the savior.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because people hope. Will kind of fucking castrate everybody.
You'll have like giant Trump protests outside of like wherever they got them locked down at. It'll be like a fucking wild ass party. It'll be sensational on the news. Fox News will be out there every day being like, "Why are you here, sir?"
Listen, I mean, if you're still counting on someone from the state to save you, Trump or anybody else, Jay's Oliver, anybody, that's not going to happen, dude. Just expect a self-rescue, buy fucking thermal. Buy fucking, anti.
Yeah, dude, if you, I post all the time on and I post the Israeli Gaza conflict, the Ukraine conflict all the time on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, 1WayOutPodcast.
You're killing it on Twitter, dude.
And then, like that shit, like just seeing like how warfare has evolved in, I'd say, 2 years.
Dude, drones are fucking everything, dude. Because I mean, even in Yemen, they're having trouble with the fucking Houthis, who are fucking basically Taliban. They're not a sophisticated operation per se, but they can do a lot of damage with these little fucking $50, $100 drones, and we have to expend $1 million fucking assets to shoot.
I don't think we have to expend it. I think that we're intentionally doing it to keep Raytheon and fucking.
That might be the case too. Either way, it's not sustainable. Whatever it is. Yeah, dude, but like dude, if you watch the videos from Ukraine, they're flying these drones into people, just blowing them up. Like how long until, I mean, if there's a Chinese operation where they have these little tiny fucking bug drones that just little tiny charge fly into you, like
that. Well, I saw a video of the Chinese did a demonstration where it's first person vision drones. Really, like what they're doing now is they're running high altitude drones. They peg the positions on like, hey, there's a squad here, there's a squad there, there's guys here with a high altitude drone. Electronic jamming, usually what happens is like the position outruns the electronic warfare aspect of it, and they don't have the jamming on the drone, so now they become vulnerable to it, right? Mm-hmm. High altitude drone pegs them, and then they bring in these first person vision drones. And right now the Russians and Ukrainians are running like one operator per one drone, and they just fly it in and boom, and blow up a guy or like two dudes like, next to each other, three dudes next to each other. The Chinese put out a demonstration video of like one guy controlling like 20 drones. So like he like went at once, and they all moved in synchronization. So instead of hitting like one drone into an area, it'd be like 20. It'd be like an artillery barrage.
Carpet bomb you with drones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they have this little Boston Dynamic fucking dog drones with machine guns on them.
The Russians have them too. They're called the Scorpion. They're dude, it's crazy. And they're doing like shit where like they got the Russians are leaving drones on the ground, like tracked drones on the ground, and the Ukrainians will drive by in their armored vehicles, and these things have anti-tank mines, and the Russians will just be like, wee! and yeah, boom, dude, yeah. It's wild, bro. When you see like all the shit, it's like the modern battlefield has become fucking scary as fuck.
It was terrifying before, but now it's real. Dude, robots is a whole different thing. I tell my son when we're working out, like he's always like, I'm like, you got to fucking do another push-up, man. You got to be stronger than the robots. So now he says it all the time. He's like, I got to be stronger than the robots.
Yeah, dude. It's fucking wild, man.
Dude, it is crazy. So I don't know, man. This whole like you said, I don't want violence. I don't think anybody wins in these situations. Like even if you win, you lose because you've lost friends, brothers. You've seen things.
Yeah, no one walks. I got a black eye right now. No one walks out of a fight clean.
Yeah, combat is gross. That's what I think about. I think everyone should learn a martial arts. Everybody should learn a martial art. Some are better than others, but at least do something, because like combat, you learn so many different important lessons. Like you learn, to do hard things. That when you lose, you learn a lot. Like the only way you get better is by fighting people that are better than you. Like, doing things that are easy doesn't really give you a lot of progress. Like, just all these lessons contained in it. Then you know what violence is, because a lot of people, I think, it's when you see these fucking like out of shape fucking dads, like trying to pick a fight with a dude in the bar, and then as soon as the fight happens, you're like, oh, this guy doesn't know how to fucking fight. And just started. Like what the fuck were you thinking? Like only someone who doesn't know that what violence is would be like, oh, I'll just see red, bro.
I'll shoot my gut out.
No, my adrenaline will carry me through. It's like until you really fight someone who knows how to fight. And it's like, that it's not going to work. Anyway, it just blows your illusions apart. I mean, I think a lot of people have illusions when they talk about war, when they talk about fighting, when they talk about survival, they talk about, what's coming. People like look at other places because what's coming is already happening in other places. Yeah. It's happening in Ukraine right now. Yep. It's happening in Yemen. It's happening all over the world. But Americans are so disconnected from.
We've had that island of safety for
forever.
Ever.
The problem
since the Civil War.
Yeah, but just like the Civil War, though, the threat's not going to be fucking China coming. Although that is a possibility. That's not.
No, it's already here. I mean, China's got think of the damage if China decided to kick off because if anyone doesn't know, out in California, there's thousands of Chinese coming across a week.
Tens of thousands. Come across this
a week, right? Yeah. So now, and they're getting now you have all these potential Chinese agents. What if Big Red decides, hey, start waging a guerrilla campaign?
Yeah,
you can't go to the grocery store. You can't go
because you never know what's going to happen. Walmarts are blowing up randomly. And
the trains can't move. Supplies, all that shit.
The amount of damage you and 10,000 friends could do to any place. Because in China they have
3 people. Was it the DC sniper shut down DC? It was a guy and his kid.
Yeah. So if China is upside down in their population, right? So they have a bunch of men, not very many women, because of the one-child policy that ended in 2015. So they're completely fucked. Their population is fucked. So they have all these excess men that are expendable. Yep. So what are they doing? They're sending them out across the world, to here especially, but all over
Africa, dude. They're all over Africa.
And these are young men that will die without mates if they stayed in China. So they're out there forging their own destinies. So how hard would it be to get 10,000 military operatives that have no life outside? Maybe they got them as children.
Yeah, we're talking 1 billion people. 10,000 is not nothing.
It's nothing. But if they're all highly trained, highly motivated, we're talking jihadi level motivation. They do not like us. What kind of damage could they do? I mean, my imagination can go pretty wild.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. So just people, if you don't have an understanding of that level of violence and disruption and all this stuff, like this AC we live in, this Walmart you can go to every day, you get your Popeyes chicken and your big gulp like that.
Dude, I had a Popeyes chicken, by the way, 2 weeks ago for the first time.
I've never had one,
Dude, never had one. Yeah. First time. I had Chick-fil-A before. I can tell you. Blows Chick-fil-A out of the water.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I'll go Popeyes. I'm gonna fucking lay that card down on the. Yeah, I felt like shit afterwards. I ate it. I was like on the couch, yeah. But dude, it fucking tasted delicious. Yeah. I see what all the.
I get it. Hey, I see the allure of fucking fast food hookers and cocaine. I get it. The degeneracies. I don't know. I know why it's so alluring, but there's a real cost, and it makes you weak. But it's okay every now and then, but some people, that's their life. That's just what they do. So if you had a disruption level event, let's say 10,000 fucking Chinese operatives just running amok, doing crazy.
Do you know how many people would die just from not being able to get their medical stuff that they need?
Yeah.
The United States is millions. Yeah, millions would die just from that. Just off of that. Never mind all the other bullshit. Just off of the disruption to the medical supply, just millions dead.
Collapse one power grid. Just who knows, dude?
Just transportation. Just make transportation fucking non-viable.
Yeah, that's all.
Make railway and that's why when people are oh, this Goliath mechanism, it's not that invulnerable.
No,
it's just way too much land. The only reason why this place exists is because of the cohesion of society, which is rapidly fucking breaking down left and right.
Look around in the major cities. Look around at the political sphere. Look around just on college campus. Just look around.
Yep.
This little thin veil of civility is very fragile, and it's like you're standing on ice and there's spider cracks all around you. You're gonna fall through eventually. Yep. And my bet is, you're going to fucking fall through, and we're going to fall through.
I just bought a ton of camping supplies, actually, and we're going to go camping and boating. But
good.
My girl's got a boat, and I live in the desert.
Form a community, because we've talked about this a bunch of times. No one person, human beings cannot survive on their own. You have to have a division of labor. Somebody's going to be good at the medical aspect. Someone's going to be big and strong. They can do manual labor. Someone's going to be,
dude, just having 20 people, you can see it all the time. Having 20 people that you can like be like, if shit really gets fucking sideways, be like, you know, it's like, do we really want to fuck with that, or are we going to go fuck with like the individual over here?
Guy by himself.
Just having to get you know 20 people together, where like, okay, we're gonna fucking make this shit like this. It's game changing. Even the cops don't want it. You get 20 people together, like they're like, look at the response from police departments when you have 20 protesters. You'll have like the riot police and fucking this, that, the other thing. Now, can you imagine 20 people armed?
Yeah,
like they're gonna be like,
there's a place where I grew up,
Uvalde. They wouldn't go in with one fucking dude killing kids. You know,
there's a place I grew up called it was called O Block, and it was, you know, African American neighborhood. And it was, you know, where everyone bought dope. Right. And it was just like, the cops, like, I knew police officers at the time. You don't go there. You just don't go there unless you.
Yeah, we have to. Have to.
Yeah. I mean, there's blocks like that, dude. Now just imagine that fucking everywhere. You know, like, because cops are just people. And if you're
there's an Indian tribe up in Jersey, and they don't go, like, the cops won't, like, if there's a medical emergency or whatnot, the EMS and the cops won't drive down there. They got to bring the fucking person out to the fucking road.
It's like Chaz.
Yeah, straight up, dude. Yep.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. It's wild. There's one way out. Fucking, you know, I don't know.
But dude, like that like a little Indian spot right, that place is more equipped to fucking survive than fucking we are.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody be like, up community, like, hey, you know.
Yeah, because you might get sick one winter. You can't take it. Isolation is the death of kings, dude. Isolation is so bad for you. Like, you need a cohesive group. You and I and some of the others, we got to come up with a real concrete game plan. Yeah, no,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and sit down on it, because it's, you know,
I got a loose group already.
Me too. I know.
It's combined groups, dude.
Combined groups, yeah. But like detailing like communications,
I can hear you status out there. You guys are like, you guys are forming a government. Like,
no. Fuck you. Yeah,
no. I'm not.
Hey, listen, I'm not forming. It's not formed yet. I'm just, in case it's a contingency.
Yeah,
it's, you know,
pace plan, right?
Yeah,
primary, alternate, contingency.
Right. We need a pace plan. We need how to, you know. Yeah. I started putting that out in the group, like, hey, get radios. This is that your thing.
I'll have to talk to you about something offline on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, start thinking about that, dude. Cell phone. Everyone's cell phone. Buy yourself even if it's just a Baofeng and you're working analog radio, and you can pick it out. Yep. You can go and look up your repeaters that are in the area. Per FCC regulations, you can't broadcast on them. There's only certain channels you can broadcast without a ham radio operator license.
Yeah.
But if shit goes fucking sideways, fuck it. You know, kind of thing.
Weapons, ammunition, at least get a small supply of food a month, you know, as much as you can get.
Dude, that's a bare minimum. Everyone should have, you should have a month of food and water for your fucking house. That's at this point in 2024, unacceptable. If you don't like have that, that is your first thing.
Go just InfoWars or
InfoWars, dude, because
Patriot Supply.
It's not like when Mark and I are talking about like a global collapse, like, okay, or like a societal collapse. Or you want to say that's far-fetched, whatever. You want to go look at example after example of hurricanes, natural disasters.
Katrina, that's a case study right there.
You know, what was the one in Houston? Well, where you need food and water all the time. They had just massive tornadoes in Texas, you know, right? Where you need supplies. You're going to need shit where, like, your grocery store isn't working for a few months.
The more mobile, the better, because you never know when you might have to bug out.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, staying in your house might not be a possibility.
But dude, that's why I was like, I had stuff like, some of my girls like, I want to go camping. And I was like, I have stuff to like survive in the woods, but all my shit is like military, like, you know, me living like in a fucking bivvy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so. It's not
like I got an RV, dude. I have an RV. That was something.
Right. So like I went and bought all the like the camp, like where I can set like my own little like camping commune. Mm-hmm. I got like, I even bought like fucking sensors.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so IR sensors. Oh, so dude, I went all out.
Shotgun tripwires.
Yeah. No, dude. You can buy IR sensors on Amazon, and it plugs right in. If you're running like literally, you can run like a solar panel, like one small solar panel, and it'll charge the base station, and it just goes, and they're solar powered, so they'll go on for fucking indefinite. So you can set up IR sensors all around. Real cheap too. Like $100.
Yeah, I thought about
Yeah.
that, yeah.
I got them at my house too. I got my house all IRS centered up. Like you walk into the front door, it trips off, makes a noise. You try to walk in through the garage, trips off, all over the
I
place.
still got Ring cameras, so the government's watching my house.
Yeah, dude. My girl keeps being like, just buy a Ring camera. I was like, we'll not have the government watch my house.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're an hour. We're in a little over an hour. So yeah, dude. Main takeaways from this the third party option is not an option at this point.
It's gonna get bad.
It's gonna get bad. Yeah,
It's all the signals of the freight train coming or heading it. Start preparing. Start organizing. Pace plan.
Maybe next week we'll be convinced that this is all nonsense and the status side is reasonable. We'll see when we get my buddy Tom on here to.
Dude, you're just telling them that you have like black people and Latinos fighting each other fucking randomly at a Home Depot, bro. Like,
hey, don't let that fuck with you.
it's just like it's a prime example, though, dude. Of like,
sure, yeah. I mean, that's one of a sea. That's a drop in a bucket of
Yeah.
shit that I could point to, and I'm going to point to. Yeah, I don't know, man. You should be here for that.
I will, dude. I will.
Cool.
It's gonna be very tough for me, though. I'll be like,
I get it. He's still not a bad person. He just is bought into the system. That's all. So,
my God.
Hey, you need that aspect, because every now and then it gives you a reality.
you ever seen The Wire?
Yeah, of course.
Right, great TV show, right?
Yeah.
The last episode in The Wire, what is the cop, the McNulty,
yeah.
right? He gets forced out because of the shit he did, and then the younger black dude, what was his name?
It's been fucking 50 years.
He was like a background character, singer. But anyway, he goes and the end of the literally the last scene of the show is him becoming McNulty. Like pretty much the last episode is like Michael becomes Omar, right? Dookie becomes Bubbles, like right? All the characters that like they get whatever happens to them and they move on. There's a new younger version of them that just comes up and replaces them in this
like real life.
And Tommy is Eric's replacement. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's funny, dude. Well, we'll see what he has to say. But yeah, I don't know. Anything else? Last things to plug or anything to say?
Nah, man. Just like I said, I really emphasize month of food and water. Get a radio. Yep. You can get a Baofeng digital radio for like $30. Dude, buy a 12 pack for like $100 and start handing them out to people that you know.
Yeah.
Be like, and you can look up all the repeaters in your area. Just type in like whatever city you live in. Bam, bam, bam. Boom. There's in the US, we have channels that are for, a couple miles in distance that you can use. No license required whatsoever. So you can practice. Me and my kid go out and we run around and play radios and with the dog. Hey, do you see Morty? My dog. Oh yeah, I can see him. He's got a thermal I got for him. I got a thermal. We're running around. It's cool, dude. It's fun stuff to play and get your kid off the screen too. So
fuck yeah, dude. We can all do more of that shit for sure.
Yeah, you should come over, dude, with your kid sometime. We'll fucking
dude. He would love that shit. He would love that. Yeah, thermal. Because dude, my daughter's obsessed with nods. When I bring the nods around, she's like, oh fuck. And there's this. Have you heard that song Nods before?
No.
Oh, dude, I'll show it to you. She loves them. She's like, did you bring your night vision? I'm like, no, I didn't bring it at work. It's like, she loves that shit. Yeah, dude, let me know. We'll do that shit.
Yeah, man.
All right, man.
One way out.